Hello, welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name is Brad Lake, and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today we're going to be talking about Kickstarters and Stonesaga Kickstarter to be specific. On this episode of Bad at Board Games, and how cheesy can I be in one sentence? So we're just going to hop right in here and see, am I going to back this? Am I interested in this? All those crazy things. Let's take a look. So first off, we have $977,000 raised for this Kickstarter, which is pretty good. We've got 6,791 people that have signed up, and it hit this number pretty quick. And so, like in the middle of the Kickstarter campaigns, they always like level out, and then there's another boost right at the end. So this is easily going to go over 1 million. Question will be 1.1, 1.2. We shall see. We've got, it's the same company who made Mystwind, which was like an open sandbox game, and it didn't really have a win condition. It was kind of just an exploration world. And this kind of has some similarities to that, but it does have some win conditions where you are, crafting things. So not necessarily a battler system, but you can go out and fight some monsters. But a lot of it is around a crafting system, cooperative, campaign style-ish. And the thing that interested me about this is designed by Max Brook, that did some Star Wars X-Wing, did Legends of the Five Rings, which is an RPG, and Luke Eddy, who did Star Wars Legion. And I'm a Star Wars fan, and I like both of those systems. So I was really interested in this when it came out, or when I heard about it, and I've been following it. But they have the Fog of War, where you have all these tiles, and you're going out and exploring, and you flip them over and see what the piece is, as I can't talk. And then you go through and you start crafting things. Now, this is where the bulk of the game is, and so you probably need to understand this part the most. And this is kind of where they started to lose me. It gets fiddly, in my opinion. You're searching for these little chits, and if you notice on the chits, and I'll try to find a little bit better picture, static one that's not moving around. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. I guess we're going to stay on that picture. So as you see these two chits, they have colors and symbols on the outside of them, and there's a certain number of them, and you need to match them up with the same color or the same symbol. And then that combination then allows you to make an item. And you're going to keep leveling these items up, kind of like crafting in World of Warcraft or any of your other, MM games that are online. And this is kind of where it started to lose me. I loved the artwork and the big skeleton out there. It just looks cool, like this big giant that was inhabiting the wastelands and died at some point in the past. And I thought, okay, this is going to be kind of neat. But the whole game wraps around this crafting system, and I'm just not sure that's what's going to be interesting to me. So you've got the base game, which is $99 or $100 US. And then we've got, for $200, which is a big jump up, you get the 2 expansions. So they're charging you $50 for each one of the expansions. And then for $300, you're going to get an additional wooden tokens, which I like the wooden resource tokens, some extra cards. You're going to get a faux leather journal, and then this art book. And the art books are kind of neat, but I never want to pay for them, sadly. I like what the artists do, but at the same time, a lot of the art books I find like, it's kind of neat, but I don't know if I want to pay for it. So you got 100, 200, and 300. So it's not cheap. And then we've got everybody talking about how they like it or don't like it. Now, if you watched Board Game Co's I would say he likes it for the moment, and he likes it compared to Mythwind, and he liked the first thing, but it still comes down to it's this crafting system. So if you don't want to just make spears and do things, and like the whole system revolves around this crafting mechanism. And if that's not interesting to you and you find that to be fiddly and you're going to go out and try to find things, and if you can't find them, then you're not going to be able to craft them. And that's kind of like the whole object and the quest that you're going out for. This may not be for you. Leige of Games, if you watch his, kind of breaks that down, especially like how fiddly that can be. And I would say even he kind of likes it, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not 100% bought in at this point. The miniatures look decent. Got a nice double layered player board, and that area in the middle that you can't see where I'm pointing at is where you're going to keep your resources. And you've got some different characters with a little bit of asymmetry, I'm sure. And then we've got some animal companions, and I don't know if that is a addition. That's probably an expansion that's going on here. They look nice. And then like the behemoth, there's a few of your bosses that you can kind of fight, I would say, as the game goes on, and you can build up and craft, then be able to go on and do something with them for your quest. You've got all these tiles that'll be flipping over, and I think this is kind of slick, so it keeps your tiles in place, is the 7 train trays. I don't know if they interlock or not, but at least you're not going to have these tiles just kind of like moving and spreading out and everything. So I think that's a nice way to keep the table organized as you're playing. And you kind of know where things are as they get pushed around. And then we've got some overlay tiles which go onto these, and they're smaller, and they'll give you like a village or different items there. The dials, not 100% sure what the dials are for. It says unrest and active, so maybe it's a health counter, things like that. Dice, mantle power chits. We got a bag. We got cardboard resources, and you can upgrade those. And then 20 challenge cards. So that's your quests. And you've got your reference cards, and let's see, 6. So they got 6 reference cards to play the game. Mm-hmm. And then we've got 80 gold cards. Lots of cards, lots of cards. We got 10 forest, plains, and foraging cards. So those are like more of the chits to help you do things. You got fishing and delving cards. I'm not sure what a delving card is. And then 150 item cards. And this could start to be where, like, are you able to find the things to make the items that you want? And then a lot of chits for your double-sided tokens and food tokens, and mushrooms and stuff. Now, these are your resource tokens you see down here, and you can see the patterns around the border here. And you got red diamonds and blue circles and yellow triangles, and trying to match those up with other items to be able to get what's on the card. And probably, the mushrooms, fish, things like that. We got a rule book, spiral bound, kind of nice. You got your journal, and that's with the expansion, the all in. And then we've got unlocked content. Got a few more challenge cards, another land tray, some more cards. These aren't very expensive for them to add in here. And then we've got the Behemoth of the Frosts. And then we go into our expansions. So this one's a 5th player expansion, another Behemoth, more cards, a lot more cards. And then we've got the Beasts expansion, and I think this is, let's see, they don't have all the artwork done. They say that's in progress. And it says it comes with 20 character cards, 10 night cards, 10 discovery cards. So that'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with these animal, it says companions. Yeah. So these will be pets, essentially. That seems to be on trend right now for Kickstarter, and a lot of stuff is give people a pet, and they're get a lot more interested in the game for the stretch goals or the expansion. Hey, come get some pets. And then gameplay, storytelling, such and such. And now let's going to drop down to the bottom and see what they're going to charge us to ship this. So shipping, we've got $25 for the base pledge. So that brings it from $100 to $125. And then the next level, which is $200, they're saying $30. So that's probably going to be higher than that because you're going to have 2 extra boxes and probably going to make double the size. I would bet at least $35 for that shipping. And then the all-in at $40. Yeah, $45. And this is to the United States. So let's go back up and see what our value rating is. So we've got at $100. Is this worth your money at $100? So you're going to get 4 mantle miniatures, 2 behemoth miniatures, and then a companion miniature. So you are going to be able to get a companion in this deck. Bunch of cards, 200 tokens, which is the cardboard tokens, the 4 dual layer player boards, 25 of the terrain tiles, which are the hexes, and then they're saying 30 hours of gameplay. And then a quick save storage system. So there's probably some way to take what you have and then put it in a pouch so that you know where you're at for the next game. So that is going to be with shipping $130, $125, $130, somewhere in that range. And they are going to deliver this to you when? Let's see. April 2024. So they're saying that's a little over a year from now. So expect it like more like June, August. They're probably going to want to have it ready for Gen Con in 2024 in August, but they may or may not make that. But a lot of this is cards. So depending on how quickly they get their molds and the miniatures made and how far they are actually with the mechanics of the game, right? So seems reasonable, but it doesn't mean that they're actually going to make it for this time. But I would say for what this is now, if you like a crafting system, I'm going to continue to harp on that. I would say you're probably I honestly think this is a little expensive, but if you're into a crafting game and kind of this sandbox world co-op, then it's probably like a 3 out of 5. If this were $150 plus shipping, I would say it's a 2 or a 1 out of 5. If this were more in that $75 range, then I would say it's getting more like a 4 out of 5. And I do think it's a little expensive. If you look at Dead Reckoning from AEG, there's a lot going on in that game and a lot of upgraded components just in the base game, and it's like in that $79 range. So I feel like this is $20 more than that. So it's kind of like, and Dead Reckoning's a really good experience. So I'll kind of stick to a 3 out of 5, understanding that you have to like this open sandbox crafting system more so than a boss battler or any of these other typical games, right? It's unique in that series. And then you go to the $200 one, and it does look like you're getting quite a bit on the expansions. You'll get a couple hundred more cards between both. You're going to get 6 animal companions, another behemoth, which is your boss battler, couple new regions, 10 more hours of campaign, which may or may not ever get used. But I still think a lot of times this expansion is just where they really make their money, right? They're sucking you in with the base game. They try to put as much into that with probably less profit in the base game, and then these are more profit. Not that there's low margins in the base game. I still think this is where we start to lose value. I'm probably going to say this is like a 2.5 or even a 2. This is pretty expensive. You're going to have to really love this game, and I'm going to go back to the crafting. Like, this doesn't entice me. This isn't like, ooh, I can't wait to go crafting for $200. That's definitely not my ilk. I'd rather have a Euro thanky thing or something, completely on the opposite side where it's zombicide. You're just rolling dice and trying to have fun that way. But this does, we're fighting bosses or something, right? So this doesn't have that quite appeal to me. So at the $200 plus the $30 in shipping, which I think is going to be more like $35. So you're at $235, maybe $240 to get it to your door. Yeah, I'm thinking this is, I'll just say it's a 2. Yeah. And 2 value out of 5. And then we're going to go to $300. And now I like the wooden resources that they've got here. And you can upgrade those, I think, for $20 down at the bottom. And they're, you don't need this faux leather journal and these extra cards that don't do much and the art book with the food. You're not getting like what you're getting there and some dice. You can get some really nice dice at your local D&D store for less than what you're getting here. They're charging you $100 for just these things. And I definitely don't think that's worth it. So, and you're going to pay $40 and it's probably going to be $45. So you're at $345 for this experience. And I think there's a lot of other places to spend $345 in gaming that are out right now. And you'll have more fun. So I'm going to say this is a 1 out of 5 value rating. I just really don't think this is worth it. I don't think it's like, the $200 values is definitely as high as I would go. You're not getting much here. And if you wanted nicer tokens, just go down to the add-ons and let's see where the add-ons are. Dun, 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 somewhere down here. I will probably cut this and get you right down to where we need to go. Add-ons. So $10 for the deluxe acrylic mining stones, $25 for the token upgrade set. So like even if you did the middle one and then paid $35 for this, you're still in a better chase. And then they want to charge you $15 for these deluxe dice. Like I said, go get some cool dice from your D&D store. You'll be happy. The other stuff you just don't need. So that's my opinion. So am I going to back this? And I'm going to resoundingly say no. I was really excited about this. I thought like the artwork and, how, the designers and what it was going to be. And I was lightly following it on Facebook and the email newsletters and all those kinds of things. And then when I found out about this, like just it kind of revolved around this crafting system, and the tiling kind of out, it just fell flat for me. It almost immediately, it was just, was not going to be my thing. So for those of you that this is for, I think that's awesome. It just doesn't happen to be a thing for me. And that may be why you don't watch this channel. What do you think? Is this something you are backing? Is this something you're interested in? Is a crafting game something you're interested in? I think I'd prefer that more in World of Warcraft, where I was going out and, gathering and making things and making armor and stuff like that. That was kind of a nice side quest stuff when I was tired, but I still wanted to go fight, like in the dungeons and get through all the missions and things like that. So where are you at? Is this what you want in your board games, or are you looking for something different? Comment down below. I hope you enjoy this, and no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night.